So over the weekend, there were protests, right, for Jacob Blake. Let me bring this in. For Jacob Blake in Wisconsin, right? And Kenosha, Wisconsin, to be exact. And this guy right here, Mr. Young White Boy Killer Guy, walks in. The police see him moments before he guns down 2 protesters and wounds another with a semi-automatic weapon. He's walking, and the police, and you see the videos. You can go see the videos. The videos, the cops say, "Thanks for being out here for patrolling. You know, thanks for being out here." That's what they tell him, right? Now, we could always say, just think if it was a black dude with a semi-automatic. We can always say that, but we have to move past. We have to move past that thinking, because we know why it is. And who are you trying to reason with? Who are you trying to reason with by saying if it was a black dude? Who are you trying to reason with? Because the people who you're trying to reason with looked at him, saw him as no threat, and said, "Thanks for being out here and patrolling." He ends up shooting 2 protesters down, wounding another, and they take him into custody like they did Dylan Roof in South Carolina when he shot the 9 at the church, right? They matter of fact, they got him some, wasn't that Burger King? Had him in a bulletproof vest, just in case there would be some wild Negroes that might have their guns out to get him. Had him in a bulletproof vest and fed him Burger King. Listen, people, if you think that, let me move this over here. If you think that, you know, this is just by happenstance, and you think that you're going to be able to rationalize it with people, with the people who you want to make change, because obviously you have decided that black people can't do anything, you know, and that you're going to have to make a plea to those that are in power. But those that are in power follow the through line of what is in a certain diaspora of Caucasians, because there's many different Caucasians here. They were brought in as immigrants to build up the numbers against those who built the country. If you don't know that, go research it. But there's a through line that goes through that says that we are not valuable because our labor is no longer free. So just like Jefferson, get rid of them. Or there's a group of people who are within that same through line and say they are no longer property, and I can no longer get land because of them, so they are a drain on America, so they should be eliminated. And this is what we see. So when you see police officers not stop him, not commandeer his weapon, not take whatever other weapons he would have, sit him in a cop car, take him down to the precinct, put him in the precinct, that's E40, precinct, not precinct, but precinct. Take him down to the precinct, put him in a holding cell, hold him there until tomorrow morning, get in contact with his parents because he's underage with a weapon. He's 17 with a semi-automatic rifle. If you don't understand what's going on here, and every time it just bogs my mind, I'm like, every time I see people on TV trying to negotiate with people who have been terrorists and continue to terrorize us, and to believe that not looking at the policies that are best for you, depending on what party, and working to have your own security, your own protection, patrolling your own streets is not essential to us building our economic system, then you just don't really know what's going on, and you think that after civil rights everything was cool and everybody was with it. But it's what's in the heart, man. It's what's in the heart. And that's why this kid gets away with this. He said he wanted to be a police officer. They're covering it like, oh, look at what happened. The Democrats are so horrible in the streets. Or the Democrats say Trump is so law and order that it caused this young boy to go off the deep end who wanted to be a police officer. Crimea River. He wanted to be a police officer, and now he can't be. But you know what? He's 17. They may expunge his record, and he may be a police officer yet.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. He's walking around with a semi-automatic weapon, but they're not going to charge him as an adult. They're going to do him as a juvenile. Yeah. So, but you was grown enough to carry that rifle in there with the intent to kill, right? Oh, but you didn't know any better. I mean, yeah, granted, he looks like out of a 10-floor ride. He's stopping at about 3. He does look that way. But he was totally conscious on what he was doing. And so it was no excuse. And to watch police, watch him just walk through freely with a semi-automatic, with any weapon, but a semi-automatic weapon. And you don't say anything.
You don't say anything.
You don't tell him to drop the weapon. You don't tell him to stand down. You don't have to tase him. You don't have to restrain him. You didn't try to do anything. And you watched until he started unloading. Right. What did you think he was coming to do? What did you think he was coming to do? Parlay and have tea and crumpets with y'all? Is that what you thought he came to do?
Well,
with the semi-automatic weapon.
He had come from the store, and the police saw him, and they said, "Thanks for being out here, buddy."